What do people say?
Anxiety.
No.
Guilt.
Not guilt. Shame, no. Anger. People who live in the past generally be resentful and they're angry. People who live in the future and say, this is going to happen, and what if this happens? What are they feeling? Anxiety, right? And if you live in the present, the joke with us is you have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, but not really. If you live in the present, actually, you're probably more mindful, more healthy, right? So let's go through it quickly. So we're going to talk about understanding mindfulness, some of the benefits of mindfulness practice, and then Maria Louise is going to just do a quick session with you all. So before you leave, you'll be in a great emotional and mental state. So let's see, what is mindfulness? What's the next slide, please? Okay, don't worry about this. We'll go to the next thing. Next slide. Okay, I think you have to click one at a time. You can click them all. So there's only one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just leave that one. This is a wonderful picture, right? Very soothing picture. It's an image that if you either view it or you can create it in your mind, it definitely will de-escalate and diffuse any emotional tension. So, so mindfulness is, paying attention in a particular way. It's purposeful. So you're paying attention in a particular way on purpose, in the present moment, without judgment. So if you look, I see this often in art galleries where people will look at a particular piece of art, they'll stare at it, and they're looking, and then they either pull back or get closer, and they're fixated. So they're purposely looking for, they're in the present. So they are mindful of what they're looking for, and it's purposeful with intent. And non-judgmental, so not looking at this particular art and judging and saying this is horrible art, this is wonderful art. They're just focused on the image, and that's what mindfulness is. It's the ability to sort of stay in the moment and just focus on a particular object or any kind of visual stimulation. So nice. And the key is non-judgmental, right? You look at a flower, you're not going to say, oh, this is beautiful, the colors are brilliant, it's vibrant. You're just going to look at it and absorb and take whatever is there in. All right? So, there. Next one, yeah, you know what? We have to play around with this one, I think, because it isn't. So there's two key ingredients that form the foundation of any mindful approach. So in mental health, it's the treatment that if you're using to help people who've been traumatized, or if you on your own are practicing meditation because you want, mindfulness, because you're at your desk, you're overwhelmed, and you need to maybe collect and be in the moment to get some kind of control. First is you want to awaken your awareness. Remember that earlier exercise? Become more aware. So when you're living in the moment, you develop an awareness, right? You're present. So in your office, generally if you're focused on a particular project or a particular client, you may not be aware, right? So you increase your awareness. So that's the key. The key about being mindful is really becoming aware. So when you go for moon walks, when we go for forest walks, one of the key things I was listening for is the level of awareness as people are walking. So if you often look today when people are walking through urban centers, but even through, I see this in Hyde Park, what are people doing when they're walking through beautiful foliage and wonderful colors and brilliant light? What are most people doing?
They're tuning in.
They're tuning into what?
To the environment, to the sense.
Are they? What I notice, what some people are, what I notice is they're plugged into their phones and they're listening to music. So they're actually not present, they're not aware, they're not in the moment. They're actually distracted. So mindfulness is the opposite. So when you go on that forest walk, as I can't remember her name, sorry. With Christine, she was talking about looking at all elements of the forest, colors, right? So that's one part, visual. And what else do we need to know about awareness? That's one of the senses. What are the other four senses that people can tell me about? If you really want to know. So there's visual stimulation, smell. What else? What are the other three senses? Sound, right? What else? Touch. And what's the last one? Taste. And if you watch the new Audi commercial, the sixth sense is just driving around in an Audi, right? So those, and the key is to accept what is there, not to challenge. So that walk through the forest is you're not challenging the thing. Yes, this tree looks great, but you know what? If that branch or if those colors would change, you're not challenging what's in front of you. You are accepting the beauty. So if it's a dark gray day, you look up in the sky and you're kind of looking at all the different shades of gray. You're not just looking up and saying, oh my goodness, this is terrible, what a horrible color. So that is challenging essentially what is in front of you. So accepting and being aware. So next slide, please. So those are the key ingredients. You have to hit it again, sorry. So you're expanding your attention to one's inner processes and experience, especially what they are experiencing here and now. So you're moving away from past, right? You're moving away from memory. So you're looking at that flower, you're looking at that tree, or you're looking at a vase or whatever particular piece of art. You're completely focused on that. Again, you're removing judgment because when you look at experience and past or future, you begin to start to judge. Well, this flower looked better last year. It was more brilliantly yellow. So you're starting to judge. So move away from that judgment. Accept that awareness. Sorry, next. Acceptance. So mindfulness practice teaches individuals to learn to observe, accept the streams of thought and experience that run through their mind. So when you're focused on those clouds, whether they're gray or whether they're white, whether they're soft or whether they're puffy, you accept them for what they are. You absorb what it is, right? Whatever it stimulates in you, whatever thoughts. So you may look at something and it may remind you, maybe a particular shape may remind you of, we can see so many things in clouds, but that's in the moment. You're not challenging the cloud, you're not trying to change it. You're completely accepting the form, the color. Okay, so it's being awareness, and the other thing is just accepting the things as they are. You accept the beauty that is there, you accept the shapes, you don't challenge them. We often in our world try to consistently challenge things, right? We try to control our environments. So in gardens that are completely either managed and trained, we're always trying to control. So this is really, what you're really doing is you're letting go, right? You're letting go of that control. You're not going to challenge, you're going to accept the beauty as it is. Next. So here's some myths about what mindfulness is. So it's not really about relaxation. The purpose is not really to relax. That may be one of the outcomes, but that is not the main purpose of mindfulness. It's not about religion, right? There may be religions that suggest or see the benefits of mindfulness, but it's not about religion. You don't transcend ordinary life, right? It's not about transcending this life. It's about, again, being in the present moment. It doesn't empty your mind of any particular thoughts you might have, but to become aware of the thoughts as you are engaged in the moment. It isn't actually difficult, right? There's nothing to just being focused, concentrating, and being present. And it doesn't really necessarily, it's not an escape from any particular pain, right? Okay, next. So how to be mindful? So there's formal and informal practices. So what's mindful eating? What conjures up in your mind when we talk about mindful eating?
Okay, so when in mindful eating, we can already engage all of the senses. We look at the food we are eating, so we can also, so we see what it is, how it looks like when we touch it, when we taste it. We smell it. When we taste it, we can concentrate or pay attention to the texture, to how it melts in our mouth. It's very good experience.
Good. You're stimulating all the five senses again. Sorry, were you going to add something? Slow eating, right? There's a whole movement in Europe, right? Slow food movement. So you're moving away from fast food, right? And I think Farishta referenced it. Often people at work are just kind of grabbing whatever they can grab. They eat their best. That's not mindful eating. That's kind of speed, fast, stress, it increases your level of stress. Mindful eating, again, is stimulating, becoming aware of all the senses while they're being stimulated. And food is incredible because it smells, it can be colorful, there's different textures, as you mentioned, and there's taste, and also there's crunch. So it really is a wonderful example of all 5 senses being stimulated. Again, we talked about mindful walking, and how many people are mindful of their breathing? Not very many, right? We just take it for granted that we breathe all day. But what happens when you're angry and upset? What happens to your breathing? It's shallow, and it becomes more rapid. And when you're calm, it deepens, right? And it sort of slows down. So see, you become mindful of all your bodily kind of functions that we take for granted. Heartbeats. I think the only time we notice our heart is it feels like it skips a beat, right? It's rapid. But day to day, we don't pay attention. But we actually can if we concentrate and focus. So be aware of how you breathe, your body, sound, see, and thoughts. Be aware of a lot of the thoughts. A lot of our thoughts are actually automatic. And they come in constantly, right? Become aware of those thoughts, because if you're not aware of those thoughts, they can actually take over. Right? So mindfulness, again, is a practice where you start developing awareness to all parts. Okay. So is that the next slide?
Yes.
Okay. So if you can go back. So you pay attention to your regulation, so how you're regulating, and that's usually to your moods. Body awareness. Again, emotional regulation, right? Are you aware of the moods that you're having all day? We talked about that part of normal function is you feel all different kinds of moods. You can be sad, happy, irritated, all within one day. Relaxed. People experience all different kinds of moods. So when people usually say, "How are you doing?" "I'm fine." Is that a mindful way to respond? No. Right? We're not actually being mindful or aware or have accepted how we feel. You can say to someone, "I'm feeling kind of agitated and irritated," right? We don't normally do that. We just kind of, without mindful awareness, just provide an answer. So there's actually not even recognition of the thought, right? So that is mindfulness. Change perspective on the self, right? Those are some of the benefits as well of mindfulness. You can start to see yourself differently when you become in tune with your body, in tune with nature, in tune in the moment. It's now starting to pay attention to your thoughts, to your emotions, right? To the sounds your body makes, to the vibrations, all these things. Okay. So here's some empirically supported evidence of some of the benefits. We can go back. So reduce rumination, what does that mean? What are we talking about? Sorry?
Chewing gum or something like that.
I think it's more around thinking, right? So when we ruminate, we think a lot about, so when we refer to rumination, we're kind of ruminating, thinking about obsessively about the same thing all the time. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Right? So it reduces that. Again, you become aware of your thoughts, so you have the ability now to stop some of those negative thoughts that come up when you're present, right? It reduces definitely the amount of stress if you take your time while you're eating, you're not rushing at your desk, if you go for walks, and you become in tune with nature, the air, and everything around you. Focus. One of the things that mindfulness will do is really attune your focus. Really helps. If you're practicing this on a daily basis, you will realize that your concentration and your focus increase. So what that means is people who are generally in good, healthy condition and in a good mindful state, they're actually more concentrated and focused. They're not easily distracted. So one of the symptoms, for instance, in anxiety is easily distracted. People are just having many thoughts. They can't focus. They can't concentrate. The same with depression. So again, this increases your concentration and focus. Remember we talked about how there's a lot of reactivity and this will reduce your, again, it gives you some control, a sense of inner control. So you don't have to control others because you're not reacting. When you're reacting, you feel like you don't have control and you want to get control, right? That's what reactivity is. So with mindfulness, if you can control your emotions, the reactions are less, You can have you have a sense, an inner sense of control. There's more cognitive flexibility, and what that generally means is, again, you're aware of your thoughts, you can change your thoughts, you can do all kinds of things with thoughts. Often when people are anxious or depressed, their thoughts just stay there. They're not either challenged in any way, so we automatically accept them. With mindfulness, you can look at that thought, you can play around, you can look at other options, and you can challenge that thought with evidence. You know, one of the things we teach and what CBT is for people who are anxious, cognitive behavioral therapy, is to look at the thought that increases your anxiety and to have counter thoughts that are more realistically based and that are supported by evidence. Because often it's irrational thoughts that cause anxiety. So you have more cognitive flexibility. And you have a better relationship, not necessarily with just trees and flowers and clouds, but really also if you're more present in your child's life or in your partner's life or with your colleagues, because you're more present, you're able to establish and maintain better relationships. So these have been studied. So the health benefits, we talked about, and I didn't realize, it's an excellent point by Christine, how trees and just breathing in what they extract helps your immune system. So I think the more you are in tune, the less stressful your life becomes. Of course, you can have better immune system because we know naturally that stress is one of the things that causes us to get sick. You have improved well-being, reduction in psychological distress, increases your information processing speed. Isn't that interesting? We all want to multitask, right? But if we actually focus on one task and concentrate on that task, we can probably do it a lot quicker because our attention and our focus increases, and we don't have to read something over twice. Because if you're answering a phone, reading and typing, generally speaking, you're going to miss pieces. We're not actually programmed to do that. Some develop those skills, but we really actually are distracted. Okay? So, and it decreases your task effort, right? So you're not pouring the kind of energy you would because you're not going back to do something twice or 3 times because you haven't focused, you haven't paid attention. All right. So effects on helpers. Well, this is very important because you're all in the helping profession. So what this will do is it will increase your ability to be empathetic with your clients. You'll have a lot more room for compassion and ways to express that compassion. When you concentrate and focus, and you're aware of the skills, you can employ those skills better and reach those skills better, even in difficult moments. Because if you notice, when you're in control, or at least you have some inner control, things kind of slow down, so you can actually pay attention and focus and make the kind of necessary changes. When things are speedy, where's that file? Where's this? Where's that? You're kind of. So that's also important. Again, it decreases your stress and anxiety. The real goal is to have a better overall quality of life. Okay? Very nice. Okay, and now we're going to have Maria Louise come and do. Sorry, is there? I think that's it. Okay, we're going to go back. I'm going to invite Maria Louisa, and she's going to have a meditation session with you. So think about what we just talked about. Mindfulness, there was a sort of, if you look at it, there's a consistent theme throughout all the presentation of being mindful. You can practice that with Maria Louisa. So Maria Louisa works with me. She's a clinical counselor, social worker, and has done most of her work working with the Spanish community, and specifically from women who had relationship-based trauma. Thank you, Maria Louisa.
Hello everybody, it has been a long day, but actually I think that this is a really nice way to wrap up, because actually for me, I was not a believer. This is not about religion, of course, but I was kind of like forcing meditation. I was like, hey, what's that? Like, I'm going to be sick. And then sometimes when I introduce it to my clients, they are like, well, Marisa, simply I don't have time. Like, let's just. But having a meditation practice actually helps you. It's like, what I tell people is like sometimes our brain is so clogged. It's like a computer. Sometimes we have so many windows open that the computer either gets slow or definitely it just freezes, right? So that's our head sometimes. And meditation actually is like pressing the restart button. It's like it just helps our brain to actually just have a break, and then boom, we are kind of like more aware, more alert, and also we're going to be more rested. I actually, when I meditate, I like it because I feel as if I have had enough. And with 5, like, if there's no, like, you can meditate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Really, the length doesn't count as much as benefits that you can have. A lot of people think that it's about not having the time. A lot of people think that it's actually like that, and you just have to, like, no, it's not like that. You can just sit. And mindfulness meditation actually can be anything. We spoke about walks, we spoke about, like, all kinds of things. So you can even just breathe. So really, it doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be too elaborated. It just has to be like as simple as you want it to be. So what I would like to do is to actually, if you could please put everything on the tables, like leave everything. If you could please turn down the volume, not even a vibration for your phone, just like 15 minutes. I know that this can create a lot of anxiety in people. I have had people who didn't come to my meditation room because they didn't want to put their phones on silent. Right? Why? Because if we are, even this is going to be distracting, right? I mean, 5-10 minutes is going to be the end of the world. So that. And then if you could please sit in a comfortable position. This has to be comfortable. It's not about like or doing something weird. A comfortable position. So please try to have your back against the back of your chair in a nice, comfortable position. It has to be. It doesn't have to be like this straight, but comfortable. Like not like but also not slouching, because then you're going to start getting pain. Also, your head, if you can tilt it a little bit to the front, because if you do this, what's going to happen is that you might create lack of circulation here, and then you might end up with a headache. So sometimes it's actually not so much the meditation, it's actually the technique. The feet, if you can put it on the floor, like that. So that's basically, that helps you to ground yourself. A lot of people are like, what is that? Actually, it helps you because it helps you to connect. Because sometimes we're kind of like all over the place, but just putting the feet on the floor, like in a mindful way. Kind of, what is mindful way? Like knowing, being aware that you're putting your feet on the ground, it helps you to actually relax. Okay? So, I actually have, you know what? I have one that is sitting, and I have another one that is standing. Which one would you like to do? Sitting? Okay, sounds good. We can do that. Yeah, because actually there's two. Okay, so you are sitting in a comfortable position, right? Your face a little tilted to the front. Okay, so what I want you to start is just breathing. Breathe in a comfortable way. You don't have to like, no. Breathe. Breathe normally. Your body knows how to breathe. You don't have to do anything. Just breathe. And if you can, like you can close your eyes, or you can just like look at like somewhere in the floor, whatever. If your glasses are a little bit bothering, because for example when I meditate, I don't like to break my glasses. Like get yourself to come in a comfortable position and just start breathing. There's absolutely nothing that you have to be doing right now, but just to be in this present moment. This is what we don't give ourselves a chance sometimes. So just try to breathe. Now, if any thought comes to your mind, okay, that's okay. Just let it go. Just like say, okay, yeah, sure. That's where it comes, the curious mind. Just like say, okay, sure, yeah, what is this? Oh, okay. Just let it go. And try to breathe. Try to breathe. If you cannot, this is a guided meditation. If you cannot see anything, if your thoughts are all over the place, don't worry. You can imagine that there's you can always come back to your breathing. And also you can imagine that in front of you there is a screen that says relax. Or you can just keep saying relax, calm down, like whatever helps you. Right? Because sometimes we're not at that moment. So just keep breathing, try to relax. Everything is okay right now. Just, it's been such a long day. You deserve this time. You deserve to be relaxed. Just let go. Everything is okay. Okay, so I'm going to play soft music.
Might not be too loud, but you can try.
Actually, we just need to be. Is there a way to turn the lights a little bit?
We're looking into it.
Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing, taking the time to just relax and go inside just to that space in yourself that is calm. Just imagine breathing as we're breathing. Imagine that you are a beautiful, wonderful tree. You're such a nice, beautiful, bountiful green tree. You're a happy tree. Today is a very, very, very bright day. The sun shines so nicely. You're just enjoying the moment. You're just receiving that wonderful warmth from the tree and from the sun. Just feel how that warmth from the sun waves every single leaf of your tree. You're there, just enjoying, just taking the time to relax. There's no more of what you need to do right now, but here in the present moment. Feel the warmth, enjoy. You're a very happy tree, and the core of your trunk, you have a heart, and that heart is feeling joy and peace, because you're a very nice tree. Those muscles too. Sometimes we forget to connect those cells and see deep inside what it is that we want in this moment when we are connected. Just also feel the breeze. There's a nice breeze going through every single knee. Just stay there. There's no rush. Just this moment that you're taking to take care of yourself. Remember how important you are, how important your body is. Take the time to nurture it. Let's take a few moments and just enjoy this nice feeling, enjoy the warmth of peace.
My head just went, but it was still good.
Right. No, our minds are so wonderful. Sometimes we're like, no, that's not me. But if we just allow it to happen, our mind is like, disconnects. And that's what we sometimes need. Because even when we're sleeping, we are sometimes not like disconnected. We're sleeping all the time. So, yeah.
was so good.
How are you feeling now? Do you feel tired?
No, it's like all of a sudden like my shoulders like go out, it's very relaxed and all that.
See, like it's not about falling asleep. It's seriously about getting more energy, right? Did it take us long? Yes. Okay. Any other, I don't know, question, comment? I know that like we're trying to get out of here soon, but anything else that you would like to share? Anyone had a hard time? Anyone is like, I don't think this is good for me, or yeah.
I know it's good for me. I'm not saying it's not, but I just can't focus at all.
Right.
There's so many things
In
going
your
through my
head,
head.
right? Yeah.
I don't know if you notice me, if I'm looking up there, I'm like, okay, go back, focus down.
Right, no, it takes time, and that's the thing about mindfulness meditation, not to rush it, not to pressure us. If we can meditate, it's not wrong. For me, for example, it took me at least 3 or 4 sessions that I had to do it to actually be able to do it. Because I was always like, I don't have this one. Like it's called the mind, it's called the state. So not rush. Okay? There's yeah.
I couldn't in always the same, that I could focus on my comfort space.
Right, exactly. So that's what I was saying. Sometimes we cannot picture whatever, for whatever reason that we are being told, well, not told, like guided to do. That's what I was saying. If you can imagine like that, you can imagine a screen in front of you saying a nice word, for example, calm or something, or just keep breathing. That's it. There's no rush. There's nothing that needs to happen. Whatever experience will happen, that's the experience that will happen. So, yeah. Or sometimes we can just say calm down, relax. Like, there's also it's called mantra that you repeat certain words. So, well, thank you so much. I know that we have to close and thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all of those who came. Hopefully you enjoyed the workshop. Safe ride home, and I think that all the presentations will be available online for people to have a look. And thank you to all the presenters. I want to thank Nadia and Sanjida for allowing us to be here, and Yasmin as well, who sits on the committee. It's been great being able to get to know everybody and having very positive interaction with you all. Have a safe ride home. Thank you.
So before we leave, we have a lot of time left. We are doing some evaluations. So you can leave that on the table after they're completed, or out into the front, and then you can come by to get one of the 2-week passes for the water. I have them with me. So if anybody wants them, as soon as you complete the evaluation, you can get the pass. So hopefully we'll see you again in the future. Our next training is going to be on trauma-informed care.